Today was the first day to register for next year's intake of high school grade 8s. Let's find out how the electronic system has been working in Gauteng. I'm joined by Gauteng Education Head of Department, Edward Mosuwe. Mr. Mosuwe, thank you very much. It was quite a wild start this morning. Over 3,000 registered in 18 seconds, I think it was. How has the day gone? How many children have been registered for grade 8 next year so far?
Thank you very much for the invitation. We are happy to announce that as of now, by 6 o'clock this evening, we had 32,160 successful applications that we have received of those that are in public schools in grade 7 that will be progressed to grade 8 in 2022. We are looking at ultimately having just over 186,000 of these young people to register. And as you know, that the system opened up this morning at 8 o'clock, and it will be closing for this specific cohort that are currently in our public schooling system on the 3rd of September, after which we will then open up for the grade 1s. The new ones will be getting into the public system, and the grade 8s who are outside the public system at the moment in Gauteng.
So really, in one day, one-sixth of the expected grade 8 intake for next year has registered. That's really quite a high number, and it's very encouraging. And it seems that your decision to do a staggered approach, to do the grade 7s into 8 first and then the grade 1s at a later time, is probably a good one. I did see some messages with parents saying that they were getting their one-time password, but then an error message when they submitted it. Have all the glitches been smoothed out, or have you encountered any problems on the system today?
Look, as it were to be with any other technology system, at the beginning there were one or two incidences that were reported, among which were firstly that the level at which SMSs were sent out to parents was slow, but we were able to get that solved within an hour. We were quite happy that a bulk SMS was able to be sent out. We can confirm that as of about 11 o'clock, over 132,000 of those were able to get out of to the parents. So to that extent, that was one matter that we were able to deal with. We were also made aware that there were parents who could not immediately log on to the system. It kept on taking them to the old landing page. When we are still trialing the system, there are parents that would have attempted to get onto our system. And the history that I'm told by those that know technology, that the more you search on one page, there's a history that is created, and it ended up creating a history in their search engine. But once we were able to clarify to those parents what needed to be done from erasing the historical information, they were then able to get onto the system. There was a third category that we were able to deal with as well. And in this case, it was more about parents who are of foreign origin, and because they would have wanted to enter their IDs that are not South African IDs. And what we had to do in the case of those parents, we had to tell them to contact their schools or schools where their young people were attending, in order that they could get a reprofile, get all the details, because out of that process, we were then able to get them new usernames that the system auto-generated a username that then allowed them to register. As a result, all the technical glitches that we had in the morning were resolved, and I think that's why we can then talk of just over 32,000 of applications that they've got.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, that is good news. But, I mean, sadly, I have to also focus on some really bad news, really troubling information from the Kensani Primary School in Soshanguve. The news that I think it was a grade 1 learner has apparently been raped at the school by a general assistant, allegedly. Could you tell us what you know and what action the department has taken?
Yeah, sadly, we were made to understand that an incident that's not so palatable happened at one of our schools in the Tshwane North District, that is in Soshanguve, where a grade 1 learner allegedly asked to go to the bathrooms, and on her way to the bathrooms was sexually assaulted. At this point in time, We are aware that the child has received medical attention, but equally has been under the supervision of the social workers. Because of the sensitivity of this case, tomorrow, at the moment, we have also not been able to identify the perpetrator, but tomorrow, the police and social workers will do a parade that will then allow us to understand who the perpetrator is. And on the basis of that, I can assure you that we will take immediate action, that whoever that the learner points to have been the perpetrator of the sexual assault will be immediately suspended, and the necessary disciplinary processes will take place. I can confirm that a case has been opened with the SAPS, and until such time that the learner can positively identify the alleged perpetrator, that's how far we can indicate at this point. But all the learner has received the necessary psychosocial support together with the family, and the department is doing everything. We will stop at nothing to ensure that justice is done in this case.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. At least urgent action has been taken. Thanks very much for updating us on that matter. That is the Gauteng Education Head of Department, Edward Mosuwe, speaking to us.